Okay, this is video number 3, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for joining us. This is our last frequently asked questions that are all viewer submitted / community submitted, because we do have our own separate Facebook page as well called The Messy Keto Kitchen. But we will get started with the last of your questions and answers right after this. All right, welcome back to the last video in this series. Now, some of these questions, not all of them, but some of them are a little bit more on the personal side. And so if things freak you out too much, you just, it's okay. Just stop the video. You're in a safe place. It's okay, guys. But if you're like, Steffi, please, I ask these questions. It's like putting a question in like anonymously at the sex ed teacher's, comment box or whatever like that, then that's okay too, guys. Just, there's no shame. We're all friends here. So the first couple of questions are super easy. There is nothing awkward about them, I don't think. But as we move on, it might be a little bit different. So the first question is, won't I just gain weight back if I stop doing keto? And my answer to that is, it's kind of hard for me to answer with, first of all, I can't tell you what's going to happen to you after you stop a ketogenic diet. I really hope that you'll stick with it for life, but I get it. Maybe it's not for everybody for the rest of their life or whatever. If you stop eating a certain way, then and you just maintain in a caloric deficit or at a maintenance calories, you'll be fine. But if you go back to the old habits that had you gaining weight in the first place, then yes, you're going to gain all the weight back. On top of that, after you, if you decide to stop a ketogenic diet, even if you go back to maintenance calories, but you're adding in carbohydrates, you will gain a little bit of water weight. It's not fat. Don't panic about it. But yes, a little bit of water weight will come back on. That's just to be expected. So I hope that answers your question about that. Yes, if you go back to eating the way you were before, expect the same results as before. Okay, this one is, I've stopped losing weight. What is up with that? I think the actual verbiage is, what gives? Well, plateaus are going to happen from time to time. Part of it is your body is trying to reach its new set point, okay? So when you've lost a dramatic amount of weight, especially over a short period of time, your body needs a minute to catch up and say, are we okay? Is everything on the level? Give it a minute. Don't stress out about it. Anything beyond 3 or 4 weeks, then maybe it's time to start wondering if there could be something that needs to be tweaked. More often than not, it's the smallest tweaks that you need to make at this point when the plateau has lasted longer than a couple of weeks. And it's usually something as simple as cutting out dairy and nuts. Let's see. Decreasing your carbs. So we go back to talking about carbs. When I hit a plateau, what I usually do is I start only counting total carbs and not net carbs. So I shoot for 20 total carbs. So that means eating a whole lot more of the whole foods, none of the processed, like the keto treats. Maybe, like I said, I cut out almonds altogether. I'll cut out almond flour, obviously, because there's almonds and almond flour. What else do I do? I'll usually increase my fat intake too. So as I taper down my carbs, I'll increase the fat intake just to see if that kind of stirs some things up. And it almost always does. I'll immediately have a big drop as well. And then, like I said, avoiding the processed food, and then focus on your measurements, because there's been plenty of times where the scale has not moved at all for me in weeks and I start to get frustrated. But then I look at my measurements and I'll have lost a significant amount of inches. So that's why one of the many reasons I highly recommend taking great measurements early on and checking up with them every couple of weeks. Maybe on a weekly basis you do it, maybe every other week, whatever works for you. This weight loss is not linear, okay? So don't just count on the scale to tell you everything to make you happy, because I promise you it won't. All right, here's where it gets awkward. I am having bathroom issues. Okay, not me personally, that's the question or the statement. What do I do? Okay, this can be very common, especially when you switch up your diet, especially early on in a ketogenic diet. So there might be issues with constipation, bloating, any of that kind of uncomfortable stuff. You need to make sure that you're taking a good magnesium supplement. Once you get on magnesium, it should solve a lot of your problems, to be quite honest with you. It keeps you very, very regular. Magnesium also helps promote good sleep, and if you're somebody with restless leg syndrome, it can help with that too. But this is another moment where I would maybe cut back on the cheese a little bit. I would eliminate nuts from your diet if you are still having constipation issues altogether. Maybe you slowly incorporate them back in a little bit later. Increase your water intake. But do I have to drink water? We already talked about this. Yes, drink your water. Increase your water intake, and then maybe add in, like I said, a little extra fat. Coconut oil is a great thing to add a little bit extra into to help keep things regular. Don't worry, everybody poops, guys. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, all right? And then the last one, will keto affect my period? I'm sorry, guys, if you don't want to know this. Again, you can walk away from this, or maybe you just want to be an informed guy and know what's going on with your gal who's following a ketogenic diet. That's cool too. You get a star for being an awesome boyfriend slash husband slash life partner, whatever you are. All right, so will keto affect your periods? From my experience, when you actually lose weight in general, it tends to level out your periods a little bit. I'm not saying this is true for everybody. Again, guys, I am not a doctor. I have no evidence besides my own body to support this. So my findings have been, though, as you decrease weight, you tend to have lighter and lighter periods, less of the symptoms, so less of the PMS symptoms. And also, there's been a lot of studies done for women that have PCOS that it has helped diminish a ton of their symptoms and the pain associated with it as well. So, long answer, I think it actually does have an effect, but a positive effect on your period, just so you know. Obviously, if it's super, super irregular and you don't feel right, go see your doctor. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. This is just based on my own personal experience. Again, though, I think you will find that as you continue to lose weight, as you continue to get more fit and healthy and everything like that, your periods might go from being 4 or 5 days to like 1 to 2 days. I swear to God, it's the absolute truth, okay? Anyway, we got through the uncomfortable stuff, guys. That is all the questions that were submitted. If I missed anything because I'm a total jerk or I'm getting old, let me know and we will do it in another segment. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Tell all your friends. I answer all the greatest questions of the world. I have a crystal ball. Okay, I don't have that, but thank you for sticking around, guys. I so appreciate all of your love and support, and you know where to find me. We'll see you for the next videos.